How's this going to fit into your plan? Hey, I am Chuck the bureaucrat, and the other day I got a phone call from a friend of mine who's coming up on retirement. He said he'd been watching my video on the survivor benefit plan, but he didn't feel that I covered veterans group life insurance well enough. So we talked about it for a while, and I think he made his decision, or at least was ready to have a conversation with his spouse about how they would decide. And I figured that I should go over VGLI with you guys. Most of you know that while you're on active duty, you're covered by Soldiers Group Life Insurance, SGLI. You're automatically enrolled in a $500,000 policy unless you opt out or select lower coverage. VGLI is essentially the same program. You can keep your coverage after you leave active duty. You just have to pay the premiums, and we'll talk about that in a second. The main eligibility criteria for VGLI is that you were on active duty for 31 consecutive days or longer, and you were covered by SGLI. So ETS, retirement, demobbing reservists, the coverage is pretty broad. In fact, there's some special rules for reservists who don't fit those categories. Now, you have to apply for VGLI within 1 year and 120 days of leaving active duty, or you're out of luck. But here's the weird thing. If you sign up within the first 240 days of leaving active duty, you don't have to prove that you're in good health. After 240 days, you gotta submit evidence that you are in good health. That 240-day deadline matters, as you'll see when we start talking about the premiums. Another odd thing about VGLI is you can only sign up for as much coverage as you had under the SGLI program. So if you reduced your SGLI to, say, $250,000, that's all the VGLI you qualify for. There is some kind of weird thing where you can increase your coverage by $25,000 every 5 years, but look, if you're planning to apply for VGLI, I highly recommend that you just let your SGLI be $500K. Okay, so who should be applying for VGLI? Well, the way I see it, really this is meant for service members who are leaving the military without retiring, and especially for service members who have known medical conditions. Here's why I say that. I've already talked about the relative advantages of survivor benefit program and term life insurance for retirees. In my wife's case, she prefers that lifelong stream of income that survivor benefit program provides. Second, the cost of term life insurance goes up as you age, and it can get really expensive if you have medical problems. For a $500,000 policy, a healthy 30-year-old can get a 20-year term life policy for about $19 a month. But VGLI would cost $45 a month, and their cost is going to go up every 5 years. So for the same 30-year-old, by the time he's 45, his commercial term life insurance policy would still cost him $19 a month, but VGLI is going to cost $105 a month. The same general pattern applies even if you're a 50-year-old retiree. So if you want term life insurance and you're healthy, VGLI doesn't really make sense. That's why I say it's for non-retirees who have a known medical problem. If you're leaving the military without retiring, here's what I'd do. Try to get a commercial term life insurance policy before you leave the military or right after you leave active duty. If that would be more expensive than VGLI, jump on VGLI as fast as you can, and certainly before that 240-day deadline. Now, if you want to learn a trick for clearing post that saved one of my subscribers $1,800, watch this video.